Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into the really complex identity of Iran. It's a country we hear about all the time, usually through this one very political lens. But, behind all those headlines, there's this incredible story of deep contradictions.
So, which is it? Is Iran this radical state with massive global ambitions? Or is it something else? A really complex society filled with people who have this deep personal faith? To even begin to answer that, we've got to look at the forces shaping both sides of that coin. And that starts with the state itself.
Okay, so if we want to get a handle on how the world sees Iran, we have to go back to the 1979 revolution and look at this really unique political ideology that came out of it. It's this one core concept that pretty much gives the state its entire character.
And at the very heart of Iran's system is this idea, Velayat-e-Faqih. It was developed by Ayatollah Khomeini, and honestly, it's the bedrock of their whole political structure. What it does is grant a top Islamic scholar, the supreme leader, the ultimate power. And we're not just talking spiritually here, we're talking full-on political power.
And when we say ultimate power, we mean absolute. This is not some symbolic ceremonial role. Nope. This doctrine gives the supreme leader the final say on, well, everything. Foreign policy, domestic law, you name it. It makes it one of the most powerful positions on the entire planet.
I mean, just listen to this. This is a quote from Iran's own constitution. It lays out the state's official mission pretty clearly. It's not just about governing Iran itself, it's about exporting its revolutionary ideals and working towards a single, unified global Islamic community, an ummah. This is the ideological face that Iran shows the world.
Okay, so that's the official story, right? The state's mission. But does that really represent the full picture for the millions of people who actually live there? To get a real sense of things, we have to look past the government and look at the people. Because, well, their story is often completely different.
And check out this quote. It's from a photography project called Humans of Tehran, which is all about trying to show the world the Iran that you don't see in the headlines. It's a really powerful plea to just look a little closer.
So what's the goal of this project? Well, it's not political at all. It's just about capturing the simple, ordinary, the deeply human side of life in Tehran. It's actively trying to push back against those flat, one-dimensional stereotypes and show a society that's just as complex as any other.
And this cultural depth, it goes way beyond just daily life. Take something like Iran's International Quran Competition. This is a huge event, and it really highlights this deep, deep reverence for the holy book. It's a core part of their national identity that kind of exists separate from state politics. It speaks to a genuine culture of faith, not just an ideology of power.
And this isn't some new thing. You can see here it's a tradition that's been growing for decades. It's a way for Iranians to connect not just with their own faith, but with the wider Muslim world, all on a cultural and spiritual level. It really fosters this incredible sense of community built around a shared reverence.
All right, so we've got this fascinating split, right? On one side, you have the state with its global revolutionary ideology. On the other, you have the people with this rich, personal, spiritual culture. So the big question is, how do these two realities collide when Iran actually has to act on the world stage? And this right here is a perfect example of where things get complicated. The official ideological goal is to support Muslim nations and create Islamic unity. But what happens in reality? Well, they build these strong political and economic ties with Christian Armenia, often stronger than their ties with their Muslim rival, Saudi Arabia. It's these surprising, pragmatic moves that seem to fly in the face of their own ideology.
So what's going on here? Well, it leads a lot of analysts to this conclusion. Iran's language might be ideological, but its actions are often driven by cold, hard pragmatism. In that view, religion and all that revolutionary talk, they become tools to achieve national goals, not the other way around.
Okay, so this mix of state, ideology, and popular faith, it's not just something we see in foreign policy. It's actually a huge part of Iran's internal identity, even its biggest national projects. The two are really woven together. Okay, look at this number, 10 million. What do you think that is? It's not a military figure. It's not an economic stat. It is a national and a spiritual goal.
That number, that's the national goal set by the supreme leader for the number of Quran Hafizes in the country. That's people who have memorized the entire Quran. It's a perfect example of the state taking its big ideological vision and merging it directly with the religious culture of the people. It's a state-sponsored project aimed right at the heart of the nation's spiritual life.
So what you end up with is this constant balancing act. It's like Iran is walking a tightrope. It operates on two levels at the same time, holding firm to its revolutionary principles with one hand, while using the other hand to make these flexible, practical, sometimes even contradictory decisions just to survive and thrive in the world.
So, when we ask that first question, how should we see Iran? Maybe this duality is the answer. To really get it, you have to hold both of these truths in your mind at the same time. You've got the ideological state with all its revolutionary ambitions, and you've got this vibrant, complex, and deeply faithful society that it governs. The real story, as it usually is, isn't about picking a side. It's about seeing how these two completely different things manage to exist together.